First, you go
I
first.
just got done talking.
All right, I'll go first.
So I wanna touch base, you start me yet?
Whatever you say.
Okay, let me get my, up here. Chairman Klarkowski, can you reach out to Scott Cedar and Jeremy, chief at Village of East Troy, and the ATV ordinance that's gonna be set into stone in July 1st. The villages and the cities and the towns have an option to opt in or opt out. And I'm asking you if you could contact them. There's 1,485 feet of road on St. Peter's Road that is shared with the village and is also shared with the township. So one side of the street's the town, one side is the village. And it's a little over a quarter mile long, and if somebody here doesn't ask them to opt that little section in, we're gonna have a mismatch of our trail system on our roads. So it's just something maybe that you or the board or somebody could call over, write a letter or something, I don't know. Be something nice to do. And there's also a short section on Town Line Road between Highway ES and Highway 20 to be able to connect our township to the town of Troy. So I'm hoping maybe somebody can do it. I'm gonna reach out, I'm gonna see if I can give them a call or go over there and talk to them and ask them. I know they don't have to do it, I know the village doesn't have interest in having ATVs running around over there, but it is a shared road, and it would help complete our system.
Sounds like a item for the Troy Alliance.
Perfect.
What we do.
Okay, I have something else here, on the audit that Baker Tilly Gale did earlier, are there copies available, hard copies, or is it on the web available?
The audit is online, on the website.
It is, so you can go on there and print it off?
Yes.
Okay, perfect,
It's under notices and then it's, in the notes it says.
okay,
audit.
There's lots of money left in the ARPA. Does the town have any inclination to be, requesting any more of that for our projects around here?
That's gonna be reported at the annual meeting, there's only 5,000 left of it.
Cause if I remember correctly, you have Army Corps of Engineers coming down to inspect the, bridge on Beulah Heights Road.
Army Corps of Engineers, no, engineering firm.
No, I thought you said you wanted to go with Army Corps of Engineers because it was cheaper.
Army Corps of Engineers does not do bridge inspection. No, it's gonna be a private consultant, I think the one we approved last month, was Corps Engineering, I believe it was. Who has the county bridge inspection. program.
Okay, it was the one that had the same with the county, and then you were also gonna do the one on Stringers Bridge.
Yes, Gary Bridge and Blue Heights Road.
Okay, so what was the name of the company that's gonna do it?
Corps Engineering,
Core Engineering, where are they at?
CORRE, they have offices in Milwaukee, Madison, Green Bay, Stevens Point.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, public comments?
Ron English, W2351 New Deal Avenue, here as a private citizen. Good to see everyone. Truth the request, but I think the last comment actually, or some of the dialogue answered one of my questions. So, I know all of the agenda items are very important to the board, and I know that they're all very important. There are some agenda items that, inherently encourage or require attendance. Be nice in the future for both private citizens as well as representatives who charge by the hour. For those private citizens, if those agenda items can be moved closer to the front, but just a minor request. And then I think I heard correctly that there is, I know I sent an email to some of the board members back in April of 2022 asking about the culvert being looked at for Stringers Bridge Road. I think I heard correctly that is being inspected. Fall. Okay, in fall. Okay.
August.
Yeah,
When Walworth County has the whole program being done, where they inspect all of the bridges in the county, that's the same time that they're gonna do these two.
Okay, because I did meet with the county and was told that it's technically not a bridge, it doesn't
No.
qualify as that, but it's gonna happen as part of that same.
Yeah, they're both culverts and,
Yeah.
but they've never been inspected and we need to do that, that's what we're doing.
I unofficially expect them a lot, so if you ever need a third party, thank you.
Are you asking that the citizen comment
Specific
period be
fund.
moved earlier in the agenda?
That's fine, I know some boards do it right away, I'm talking more about like things like plan commission or things that are going, where citizens are going in front of the board requesting approval. Those people tend to show up, and not that, I know all this stuff's important, but not everyone's here for 3 hours, 2.5 hours.
That's one of our, things that we gotta look at, and, you know, some of this is just, it's this, we're doing it now, you know? But we've been awfully busy, there's other
Yeah.
items, I'm sure people are gonna call up and say, how come that one's not on there or that one? Most of those are way down the food chain from what we're doing here. This is very important.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah. Other comments, anyone? Good, okay. All right. Unfinished business, update on East Troy, Railroad, Museum, Bridge. We should have all received, correspondence from the 30 mills on this. We have to schedule a meeting to decide what we wanna do. I have a good start on the language of what, how it's gonna have to occur. One way funding occurs for federal and state money on that bridge is if we own it. However, the Railroad Museum, they own the bridge, so they have a financial responsibility until it's finally replaced, whenever that may be, and then it's 100% ours forever. We are the final solution, but we have to have a agreement and a sale to make that happen. So we need to have a meeting, that's what we're gonna later on schedule that. I am attempting to meet with the CEO of that to see if there's any other common ground there, other than, we discussed, you know, having a meeting, we haven't did it yet. I will plan on doing that probably before we have our meeting. I don't think I'll get into this earth shattering, because at that, with that group, they don't normally make unilateral decisions. They have to have a board meeting of their own, at least executive committee meeting before the decisions are made. But that's what we had the last time we had it here. We had basically their executive board here, so, that's no other news on that one. Okay.
I understand Attorney Mills' memo that the purchase of the bridge would not be considered land, therefore would not.
It does not require special
elector
or elector approval.
Our whole plan here is to get this bridge rebuilt with 100% federal money. There also was, an application put in for a, what do you call that, special,
Through Senator.
Senator Baldwin, we sent that request, earmark.
Yes.
He had a request for an earmark, and of course, if you can imagine the amount of applications or requests we get on that, I heard anything that the applicant was the Railroad Museum, and per the direction we had at that meeting, I did, send a letter of support, which ended up being a, work on the state's internet site, federal government's internet site, for how, I just didn't attach a letter, I had to go fill out their form, okay, and then tie it to their request. So I haven't heard on that, but earmarks, I have no idea the timing, how long it takes, you know, to get a response. I would not hold my breath in that one, I would long shot.
Right, and I guess I thought we were actually expecting most of this year is the only year that we could get the 100% funding, right?
No.
So realistically, it's
One
gonna
vote.
be 80-20.
No, there's one other program that the deadline is October 28th.
Right.
That's also possibly 100%, but the only way you get to 100% is that the bridge is replaced and not just repaired.
Right.
If it's repaired, it'd be 80% no matter what.
And it has to be below the 60.
Fifth,
We need less than.
50 or under, right, sufficiency.
We're not there yet.
No, now, the next section, once again, later in summer, it could deteriorate to that point. I don't think we'll go from 56 to 50 in 1 year. they could. And then furthermore, when they're doing the actual grant application, they have to prove that a deck, rehab is even feasible with that type of structure, you know, so you might take off that top 4 inches of concrete and the rest of it goes away. So, that's my fault.
When you're saying when they apply, they're gonna have to.
No,
They can't.
We already agreed that, you know, if we get this agreement done, that there will be a grant application that will share 50% of the cost with Lynch to submit that application when it's due by October 28th or whatever that is. So there is, you know, we have some time here. I'm not sure that I'm gonna get very far, even if he is the CEO, because he'd have to commit resources and that happens, with, you know, their executive board. Or maybe they're meeting themselves, you know. So really, all we have to do is, schedule a meeting so we can further discuss what our next step is based on the recommendation of the president. So.
I
yeah.
guess, and maybe I would feel better about being a little more transparent and including it on the agenda at the meeting of the electors.
I
I
think
think there's
that's-
potential.
I think it's already on
It's
there.
already on there.
Yeah.
The railroad museum bridge.
Yep, yep.
Number 9.
And basically what I'm gonna say is, kind of what I just said here, I don't think we'll have any new information by then, you know, but, this is unusual too, I mean,
Yeah, but you're saying we wouldn't have to have them vote on it. It just
Electors,
be more
just
an
informative.
informal, but informal.
informative, yes. Okay? Okay,
Mr. Chairman, is there an actual timeline for this? Because if the bridge is reasonably sound, we postponed the decision for many people who drive over.
oh, yeah, yeah, the timing on it is you don't know how quick the deterioration is gonna continue. What was said a couple of years ago was in that, you know, 5-10 years, you're gonna probably have to post it. That's been actually moved up because, you know, the last reading we got is, you know, considerably worse than the previous one, so. The timing is this year, we have, I think, we already established, the only way you get federal or state money for this bridge is if a municipality owns it, it does. And it is in our best interest to eventually own that bridge, okay? So we don't have to deal with this. A nonprofit shouldn't be only owning bridges, you know, but it happened. It
This
happened.
year, this year,
This year.
thank you.
Okay, next item, discussion and possible motion on creating YouTube channel. I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with the next one, which is discussion and possible motion on YouTube versus Facebook video streaming and storage. I think you can do one or the other or both, but why don't you lead the discussion on that?
So I think, basically what the committee has requested is that we establish a YouTube channel as an option to do some testing. It was shared with the committee that there were some equipment challenges that could be upgraded or changed. We found, as we reported last month, there were some videos at 360 pixels, some at 720 pixels, so for the clarity. We don't know for sure what that is. When I spoke with Jen, she's thinking maybe bandwidth because of the people, because she said when there's no one here, it's 720 pixels. But we would but our committee's recommendation is that it's free to establish a YouTube page and do a test to see if that would make a difference. In the committee reports, there was some additional research, just randomly looking at different communities at their video, streaming platforms. Have not yet found Facebook Live, again, it was just randomly picking names off the top of my head.
Why are there no towns? It's all cities.
A lot of so in the previous report, there were towns from both the ad hoc committee and our March report, there were towns. Because when you look up the community, it typically defaults to the city rather than the town. And a lot of the towns did not have, any video of it. So, that could be included. So yeah, we're a step ahead, but by having the video, absolutely, we acknowledge that. That it's not done by all of the towns in the area, so we're definitely a step in the right direction. And just the first step we're asking is to establish a YouTube page. It's free, it's no obligation. To do a test is free, to see if that helps the video quality, which is our expectation.
It is noticeable, the quality of the picture, okay, that is noticeable. That takes equipment, to do it.
Have the webmasters weighed in on the recommendation?
As I mentioned, when I spoke to Jen, her thought when, she was working with Todd was it's potentially internet bandwidth because there's less, when they test it in an empty room, it's 720, but when it's actually recording with other people in the room, it's 360. But that's not what we understood.
By going through the laptop, that should improve. So we'll know after tonight whether the quality of the picture will improve. So that should take care of, the pixel quality.
We eliminated some of the cords and how it was split. Because it was split too many times, that's why we're losing a lot of it. And it also depends upon if anybody's in the meeting like we are now, if they're on their phones, taking up some of our internet bandwidth, will also slow it down. But the majority of it was how it was
No
split.
phones in here.
Jen said there's no more splitting, that it's a direct line.
Yeah.
I just noticed on your communications report, and this has been an issue too, where people have been saying that you must have a Facebook page. You do not have to have a Facebook page. You can click on the Facebook link on the website and just go to videos on Facebook, and you do not have to have an account.
Where does it say that you must have a picture?
Still not finding Facebook Live for video streaming, must have a Facebook page and videos of activities.
Most have a Facebook page, MOS
Okay,
have a Facebook page and live videos. It doesn't, but the Facebook is not used for meetings.
There is one other issue. In order to stream, how we set it up now, going to the website and clicking on a link, that took a lot of work and programming to get it where it is right now. If you go to a YouTube channel, that is a lot of work that needs to go in that direction. You can't bounce back and forth. A lot of work and effort on Jen's behalf has gone into getting a very straightforward, go to the website, click video, click, you're there.
user friendly.
Extremely user friendly.
But all the other sites that we check are very user friendly.
Can you use
But they're
Facebook
already set.
streaming to upload onto YouTube? I mean, can you have both at the same time?
I don't know, but why would that be?
My only comment is if the board goes ahead to establish the town YouTube channel, my suggestion would be, one, only board can approve what gets uploaded onto the town's page, and two, make sure that all, you can turn comment section on. That does part of it.
When you are going to YouTube, that's already set up. We're not looking at the prep time that it's gonna take to set it up and test it. And what happens to Facebook? We're making Jen do two? Because how do you keep up Facebook if you're focusing on YouTube?
Well, we're just
It's
dealing
not.
with creating
It's
a
not.
channel
It's
for
totally separate.
this motion.
It's just, you can set
What?
it up as,
Define a channel then for me.
if you're setting up a YouTube channel just simply for the videos only. So when you do the live stream video via YouTube, at the end, it automatically is there, and then again, we can put the link in our page where we have our meetings and agendas, minutes, packets, and the link to the video. It has more storage, it has, like I said, we think it will help with the pixeling and the video streaming quality. It's as a test to start, is all
yeah,
we're asking.
I mean, it's a test, and that part is free. We don't know yet if, instead of laptop, you'll approve that part of it. There is a possibility, because we're dealing with, you know, these big, high-tech companies going away. Right?
Same thing with
Could be
Facebook.
anyone, but, yeah.
Any one of them can just go away.
Correct.
Doesn't-
Correct, or change the rules, or change the cost.
YouTube's not
There's a lot of different things that happen there.
And they're the preferences.
The police department is spending $13,000. They're spending $1,100 a month to store videos. And worried about us having to eventually pay a charge when we don't have to.
We don't have to right now,
No, I know that, but
and they're a little bit.
We haven't even talked about storage of videos yet.
That's-
that's,
All right, there's a lot of different ways we can do this here. I don't know if it would help to know
Why don't
what.
someone just make a
Jim's
motion,
deal is.
see if you get a second, and then have a discussion.
Okay, okay, the first one, we're talking about singly, we're not doing the second one. So it's B, discussion about motion on creating a YouTube channel, so we need a motion.
I would make the motion that we create a YouTube channel for the town of Eastport.
All right, do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second, doesn't.
All right, discussion, we discussed a lot here.
what goes into creating a channel, Michelle? What has to happen?
That's
We-
my question.
We had that in last month's report, it also goes, it's setting up, I think it's on the first page, right? Google page, yep,
So now
Google
we need a
entity,
Google account and a YouTube.
which is not a big deal, it's an identity page, a Google identity, and then we set up a YouTube page. We have those steps that I
Easy.
did, that we provided last month.
Is that in the March sixth report?
Yeah.
Again, you'd be happy to look at it.
If we don't have a town Google account, we should probably have a motion to create one.
We have to be that specific.
Right.
If that's what's required,
But then we just said to
Part of the
create a
process.
YouTube channel as part of the process.
Yeah.
You would rather be more specific on all the steps.
well, how many other requirements are there, I guess, is just my.
Just those two.
And then we have to not stream on Facebook in order to do
We're not there
tests.
yet,
No.
that's.
No, absolutely not, yes.
Then how are you gonna test a stream?
The committee can come in and test
Just
with
do
you,
just do
or, yeah.
a demo,
we
like
can
agendas,
test-
practice demos.
Or we can test at our committee meeting, or.
I have full
It's easy.
confidence that Jen can do all of this. Okay, but the amount of work to test, and then it doesn't meet where we need to be. Why are we reinventing when we're really good right now?
You're not good enough.
What additional benefit is there to go to the YouTube besides to have that little link in those?
To get to the picture quality that we're looking for.
But this is taking care of the picture quality.
We'll know
we
tomorrow.
We will know tomorrow.
No.
And like Todd said, the splitting of the lines was affecting the quality. So
Oh,
Why?
Probably someone can see it now, but I can't obviously on here.
I don't understand why.
Because it's a free option to test to get their money.
a lot of work to get it onto the website. You're talking about reprogramming, recoding the website. I'm sorry?
Redoing what's done.
Redoing what's done.
We're adding to.
We're not adding to.
But
but
wouldn't
we
the-
do.
You're gonna have to wipe out the whole website.
Wouldn't the
the
committee show the
Whole
board,
website.
The whole.
here's what it looks like now, here's what it looks like on our page? And let the board decide then.
Say it again.
If you approve to do the YouTube channel for testing purposes, wouldn't the committee bring to the board, here's what we found in testing, look at this picture quality versus what we have now?
That would be a good way to do it.
Yeah.
That would be the motion you would wanna ask for if that's the case, then, right? Cause you just can't do any of that without board approval, so if this doesn't pass, then that's the next step to get more into that. My question is, I keep hearing it, believe you me, to me, this is brain surgery, cause I know nothing about it. I really don't, but, I keep hearing, and I've gone because I've been concerned with, how everything's been going, the meeting. I keep hearing what's a ton of work? Is it a month? Is it 80 hours? Is it 160 hours? What is it? I don't know what a lot of work is because I don't do this stuff, but I know Jen's job is not just that. She does do the majority of the court, but, you know, I don't think that, is anybody asking for this to be done by the end of the week? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do we have the time to be able to, work in the Jen's schedule to see if it'll work, or? Those are my questions. I just keep getting concerned. I don't wanna do any more work at work either. I mean, I don't, nobody does.
Could I speak, Chairman Calgalisi, for a second?
About this?
Exactly about this.
Okay.
Basically, I went on the town's website a little while ago and tried to link up my phone to the meeting, and it says you have to do it only from a desktop, which is kind of baloney. It says right to desktop only. To set up a YouTube channel and to set up a Google account is all 15 minutes. It's not a big deal. And the bandwidth on YouTube is better, far superior to the bandwidth on Facebook. You can get by with Facebook, but it's gonna be grainy, it's gonna be choppy, and it's not because our stuff is bad, it's because their system is overloaded. There's billions of people on Facebook, and Google's better set up with YouTube to make it work better for us.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm looking at you on my phone right now, standing in front of Joe.
This is one of the issues that has been happening between mobile devices and, at least I've never had one of the meetings.
Right,
Some people-
if I get the link sent to me through notification, because I'm signed up to get notifications, I can get it on my phone every time. But if you go just off your phone, go to the town's website,
That's
and
what I
then,
did.
well, he just tried it right here and it didn't work, correct? It did not work.
I'm on the town's
They've
website.
been having issues with that
So it's
exact
hit or
issue.
miss.
That's what she's been reporting.
Okay, all right, well, let's get these one at a time, because they're all interconnected, and I agree that it's not something that, you know, has to be done today or whatever. But the committee put a lot of work into this year, and I still have one concern that, you know, all of the wetlands haven't totally graded, and I'm hearing things now that I don't know you would, you know, so we have a motion on the floor here for the, town to create a YouTube channel. Let's do a roll call vote. It's yes or no.
Right there. Jim just brought it up on his phone.
Just one point of discussion, as before we vote. So, we've asked the communication committee to research options to improve our process. I think Mr. Jones informed us that the majority, 60% of townships don't even go through this in terms of live broadcasting. Is that correct? Most of the small samples.
Of our sample.
So we're ahead there.
Right.
They're asking us to, give an option that to further explore. I think that's the valid thing.
Said you
we should
couldn't do
do.
that.
We've heard the webmasters can do it. I
Yeah.
haven't heard any legal objections at this point. Other than,
I don't think there
I
are
will-
legal objections to it, it's just, board wanna do it or doesn't.
Right.
Let's try.
I think there's gonna be three decision-making pieces though as we move forward with all of this. One is gonna be does it pass the webmaster's needs, does it pass the legal needs, and does it pass the vision or mission of the board? No reason not to move it.
It says right here,
If it's a rollout.
town board meeting,
What's the motion?
6:30, that's today's date.
To
5 hours
establish
ago.
a
You hit
yeah.
this.
Establish YouTube channel. So to enable testing, basically, you said.
You know,
Okay, what are the
Sure.
things that we need to do to
Okay.
start a YouTube channel? We
Establish
need
a
a Google
I read it like
account
before,
and
and that's why I
and
screenshot it.
establish the YouTube.
Yeah. Because you can't do this, you have desktop only.
You'll keep us updated with your testing,
Yeah. We
give
get
us
kind of help,
demonstrations,
yeah,
and
and we
prove
can
the
help
cases that.
Yep.
what the results are.
Okay. Any comments, Janet? Good? Barb, any other questions? All right, roll call vote. There's Bill.
Booker, yes.
Wales, yes.
Reyes, yes.
Markowski, yes. Church.
Church, yes.
All right, now, again, that, you called it out as being the first step to see if it's even possible. I do think we're gonna get more information here. I still have concerns that YouTube, again, being, you know, these big companies that come and go, they're not gonna go away, but their process, their charges, there's people out there that say, if it's YouTube, I ain't touching it. Okay, security, there's reasons for that, okay? But if you have good, you know, software on your own computer, you have to worry about your phone, okay? But in your computer, you better have good software on it for virus protection, because a lot of it comes in through that, through YouTube, okay? And there's certain people that are ready to come out and say, I'm not gonna even go on there. I do think it needs to be evaluated and looked at, just like anything else we do. Pros and cons that you laid out are pretty much black and white to say, yeah, do it, okay? But I still have concern that the webmasters are gonna have to eventually do all of this, haven't had their kick at this, okay? I do think, since it's no cost, I think it's worth looking at. If this had a cost, I don't think I would have voted that way.
Well, the cost is their time, and no one can answer how much,
We don't know.
how much work is it to do this?
The initial part
Is it 40
is
hours?
just that.
Yeah,
It's
what's,
just
that's
that.
the cost.
But to be fair, viruses can come in through Facebook.
Yes.
True.
They get hacked all the time.
Yeah, but the people that,
Any social media platform.
I agree with that. So, I think it's worth the struggle to at least look at it. I don't think we're at a point in time where we can say, we know the answer, okay? We don't. Okay, next one was
So that,
continues with it.
yeah, that was carryover as part of unfinished business. The committee had